Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So super thrilled you're here. Thank you so much for the love of my last video. It's been amazing. So in this video I'm just going to share on some things that I did or some mistakes that I made that actually cost me money during my wedding planning period. Yeah. And also sincere apologies. People are like, oh my god, her content has changed. She's talking about wedding. You know what? You know I shoot content based on what's happening in my life, right? You know this, or don't you know? If you don't know, you know now. So I have to shoot. So the content I'm able to put that now is the season I'm in. So bear with me. The very first mistake that I made with regards to wedding or planning my wedding is not having a proper vision of what I want to achieve. Okay, so yes, I knew I was planning a wedding. I knew I wanted a white wedding. I knew I wanted a trad wedding. But like regarding the specifics, for example, with the decor, I didn't know the exact decor that I want. I did not like have, you know, when you have what's it called, idea board. I didn't have like an idea board. I just have a bunch of things I knew that I liked, but like I did not really sit down to picture it. Oh, how do I want it to be, so that I can clearly communicate this to the vendors. So the thing is, if you don't have a proper vision yourself, you can't communicate it. I went to the person in charge of decoration, for example, to make down payments. We had a whole conversation, but then I did not bring up some of the things that I later had to call to let him know, and that's because I did not have like a proper vision in mind. So for example, I did not go to church for a wedding. We had to do the church wedding in the same hall, so there needed to be rearrangement of chairs, and there's a way he was supposed to arrange the chairs, all of that. So the specifics of that I did not communicate it, and that's because I actually did not fully picture what I wanted that to look like. So it's really important you have a clear vision so you can clearly communicate to everybody, especially decoration people, what you want to achieve or what you're looking at achieving. Another mistake I made that cost me money is not carrying key stakeholders along. So with every wedding, there are people that we call the key stakeholders. Of course, the two families are like key stakeholders. We're talking about the extended family. So for example, with regards the traditional wedding that I did, or with regards traditional wedding in Nigeria, you know it has to do a lot with the extended family. And in every family, there are people that are like the eldest of that family, or like the key stakeholders, the ones that without them things don't happen in that house. Like things have to pass through them just because, you know, it's their place in the family. So one of the mistakes I made when we started the whole wedding thing, I wasn't carrying along those key stakeholders in my planning, and as a result it created a lot of hiccups, a lot of back and forth, and a lot of hot tears that I had to cry. And then I just realized, you know what, whatever I'm doing, even though this is my wedding and I know what I want, I have to carry these key stakeholders along. And so when I started doing that, it actually reduced the heartaches that I had. So it might not be the most, you know, amazing thing to do or the most convenient thing to do, but you just have to make those sacrifices to ensure you're carrying the key people along, even in your wedding planning. It's going to save you some cost or some heartaches, definitely. Another mistake that I made was just completely banking on online vendors. Now, trust me, prior to this wedding, I have never had any issue with any online vendor. I've never had a case of what I ordered versus what I got. Like whatever I order is what I get. Like I always, like, I'm never skeptical about online transactions. But with this wedding, my eye somewhere, I learned a lesson. So there was this vendor for the suits that we saw online, and I'm like, oh, his work looks nice. I sent it to Jason. Jason's like, oh, his work looks great, that we could work with him. Now the mistake I made is this: nobody recommended me to this tailor. I just saw the tailor on Twitter and I liked his work. I saw some people retweeting it to my timeline, and then I saw it. Now, so that's mistake number one. If you want to work with an online vendor, make sure the person is recommended by someone you know, or someone that has actually patronized that person. So we went ahead, did the whole interaction and of all the deliverables he was sent, and then we paid this guy. This guy said he was going to deliver it, for example, this Saturday, and then we did not hear from him. So I sent him a message: hello, you said you're going to deliver the suits this Saturday. What's happening? Are you going to deliver it, or when are you going to deliver it? Please let me know. And he's like, oh yeah, he's going to deliver it. I should stop, you know, stressing. He's going to deliver it. I now said, okay, I'm coming to, because the guy stays in Aba. And I was like, oh, I'm going to traveling to Aba next weekend. Please, if you honestly feel like you won't deliver it, let me know, so when I come to Aba, I can collect it instead. Guess what he said? He said, please, I should stop talking to him like a child. What the, and then he hung up on me. I was shocked to my bones, because even my brother was sitting next to me and he was like, who is this person that I'm begging? That's like how, like, I was so polite. I was so like, I really, you know, when someone is holding you, when someone is holding something that you want, you have to be careful how you approach the person. So I was really calm. I kept saying, please sir, kini, you know, and he hung up. My brother was like, who is that? That white person hung up. Nah, even the way I was begging the person, do you understand? And he hung up. I had to call my dad and told my dad. And then I told Jason called the guy, he picked, and I started telling Jason that why would I be talking to him anyhow? That why would I be talking to him anyhow? That he said he's going to deliver, that I stop asking him questions, kini. So apparently it has to do with this male thing of, oh, a woman should not be asking you questions. I should not be asking you questions when I'm the one that paid you, I'm the one that booked you. Do you understand? Like, it did not make any sense. So finally we got to Aba. We started calling him. I did not call him, my dad called him. And then he was like, oh, that he cannot deliver it until we pay the full amount. Then my dad is like, my wife is in Aba. She's going to meet you with the money. So she's going to give you the other balance. And mind you, we've paid about 80% of the money already. So it's 20% that is left. My dad is like, my wife is in Aba. She's going to come with the balance that you need. Give it to you, then you give us our suits. And he said, no, he's not going to do that. So at that point, he held us at a ransom. And I was just thinking about, so at that point, my aunt and my mom started asking me, okay, how do I know this guy? Who referred him to me? And then I realized that, oh my God, actually nobody recommended him. I just went ahead and saw him online and booked him. The heartache I went through that point. See, I had to now at some point, and I said, let me call this guy and beg him. Since he wants me to beg him and worship his feet, I will do it because I need my suits. I called him, I started begging him, like, I'm so sorry if you feel like I offended you, but please, in the name of God, can you please release the suits? This guy went off. I just kept quiet. I was like, okay, it's fine. You know what, it's fine, I'm sorry. That's all I kept saying. Then do you know what, he was like, we still have to send the money. I spoke to Jason said, oh, I should go ahead and pay him. We paid this guy the money. You won't believe that we left Aba without the suit. He still did not send the suits to us before we left Aba. So at that point, my parents were already saying, it's like, this is a scam. It's like, this is a scam, because why has he not brought the suits? And let me also tell you, throughout the whole time that he was making the suits, not once did he send us a picture of the suit to say, oh, this is the progress I have made. Not once, you guys, not once. So we left Aba, and at that point I was shattered because I felt like I had been scammed. And you know, it was just a very crazy moment to be in. Only for later on, he calls Jason and he's like, oh, he wants to deliver it. Where should he deliver it to? In Enugu. We told him, he sent it down. We received the package, and then guess what, you guys? There was no bow ties, there was no white shirts. That was what we paid for. In the deliverables we paid for, there was supposed to be bow ties and white shirts. So it was like a complete suit for each person. And then Jason told him, oh, there was no white shirt, there's no bow tie, where is it? He's like, oh, that the money we paid was not enough for it. So that's what he was able to send. At that point, Jason was like, whatever, it's fine. At least we have it, that we'll buy our bow ties ourselves, and we're going to buy the white shirts ourselves. Like, it was such a trying moment. So definitely do not do transaction, especially for your wedding, because that's like high level transaction. For example, mine was high level transaction because it was like payments for 5 different suits. So that was a lot of money to lose online. Now, just to add a buffer to this, on the flip side, my wedding dress was made by an online vendor as well. I saw this person online and nobody recommended me to this one, but the thing with this one is I went to his shop in Abuja and I saw him before I made payments. So if you must use an online vendor, make sure they are recommended by someone you know, or you know someone that knows them, so your money does not enter one chance, you guys. Okay. Another mistake I made that cost me a lot of money during planning was not booking in in bulk. Or how do I put it? Like, booking was the way I went about booking my vendors. So here's the hack to booking vendors. When you want to book a photographer or a videographer, if you see, for example, one person does photos, he doesn't do videos, instead of you to meet another person and ask that person, like a different person, like a videographer, like, what's your charge? Instead, ask that photographer that does he have someone that does videos for him. So that way you're still getting it as a unit, like you're still paying for the two on that one. Because if you take it separately, you're going to like spend a whole lot more. I don't know if that makes sense. For example, your makeup artist may not be able to do hair, like style your wedding hair, but you can ask your makeup artist, do they have someone that does hair that they can recommend? Because when it comes through that person you've already like contacted, it's cheaper than when you go to this person separately. I don't know, but it's just what I've noticed. So it's a hack you might want to try. Whatever you're booking, ask that person to recommend someone instead of going separately for that thing on its own. Do you get? For example, if you're booking a decoration person, ask them for special effects guy or special effects person, so you go through the decoration person and it's cheaper. Okay, so another mistake I made that cost me money was not going through recommendations. Recommendations are a big deal. So you might want to contact someone you know, maybe your friend's a photographer that stays in Abuja, and your wedding, for example, like mine is in Enugu, and you're like, maybe your friend cannot come for your wedding or you can't shoot your wedding. You can still ask that person, do you know any photographer in Enugu that you can recommend? Because when you come through someone that they know, you might be able to get a better discount than when you just approach the person on your own. So definitely leverage recommendations if you can get them. They're going to save you a whole lot of money. Okay, so I also saw this tweet on Twitter that said vendors to avoid. So that was what made me remember to shoot this video, because trust me, the last thing you need is someone that is going to hold you, like going to hold you at a ransom, because that's literally what that tailor guy did. It was like he held me at a ransom, and that was a very bad feeling. And one of the reasons why I think I went for that tailor was because he was recommended by someone who is supposedly like an influencer on Twitter. So trust me, I agree with this tweet. It's better you go with low-level vendors, like vendors that are not dealing with celebrities, because the ones that deal with celebrities, trust me, they're going to cut your neck, and then they're also going to feel like, oh, they are doing you a favor, even though it's a service that you're actually paying for. So try as much as possible to even go for the low-level vendors. Just ensure that what you're getting is quality, because what I realized is all these ones that are like big levels, they may not be the best at the job, but they just have a lot of following, or they just have some endorsements from some celebrities. It doesn't mean they are the best. Some low-budget vendors are actually 100 times better than these ones that work with celebrities. Okay, so yeah. One more thing before I round up, I have created a wedding planning bundle, which is going to have a budget planner, like a detailed one of the list of things you should allocate money to, and where your money is going to, and help you calculate at the end of the wedding, all of that. I have that. Is going to be in the bundle. Then you're also going to get like questions to ask yourself before you get married, because there's some questions you don't realize you're supposed to ask. I have created like a list of it, like questions you ask your partner, you guys just have conversations over. And also you're going to get like a spreadsheet of house chores, and you're going to allocate who is going to do what house chores in your house. It's just good you have conversations like that, because when you get married, then you realize, oh my god, who cleans the toilet? Maybe in your house you did not used to clean the toilet, in your partner's house he did not used to clean the toilet, and you're like, okay, who is going to clean the toilet? Because two of you are going to live in that house, and that toilet needs to be cleaned. Okay, so you need to work out a system that works for you. So you're going to get that chore planner guide, I don't know what to call it yet, but you're going to get that in the bundle. So if you click the link in the description box below, you can pre-order the bundle now at a discount price. It's going to be available in 2022 sometime in January, so make sure you pre-order. Once it's out, it's going to be like twice the price that it is right now. Okay. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. Sincere apologies for the background noise. I live in Nigeria, it is noisy, there's nothing I can do. I just have to shoot the content like that. Till next time guys, thank you so much. Bye bye.